celebrate the 70th anniversary of the United Nations and the adoption of the Sustainable Development Goals, the UN in Belarus and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs launched UN70 Belarus Express for Sustainable Development Goals. The unprecedented initiative started in the capital, Minsk, where the President Alexander Lukashenko planted a tree of peace and sustainable development, mirroring the Belarus-led event held at the UN headquarters in New York, where the UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon planted a tree of peace and unity. The day continued with the signing ceremony of the new UN Development Assistance Framework in the presence of the head of state and representatives of the diplomatic community. It was followed by the opening of a historical exhibition about 70 years of partnership between the UN and Belarus and the departure of the UN Express. Each governor of every province signed a declaration in support of the Sustainable Development Goals. 8 days, 7 cities, and more than 150,000 people from 45 countries were involved in around 250 events in different cities and on board of the UN train. For me, UN70 Express truly became the most important event of the year. I got to know many unique people. To be honest, I was a little ashamed, being a trained historian, that I didn't know about many issues that the UN works on. For me, it was just an organization founded in 1945. During the train, I learned about what it does, including 17 Sustainable Development Goals, poverty reduction, and ecological issues. It got me thinking.
The UN70 Express idea was extremely important because dozens of thousands of people in Belarus got acquainted with the agenda of the UN, with its activities, with its program for the future. And they understood better the UN activities because they understood that the UN is dealing with the problems which are extremely acute and important for the ordinary people. And I think this is the most important result of this event. And it helped to improve the visibility of the UN in the society of Belarus. And I think this experience should be used in all the UN member countries.
It's hard to say what the best events were because there were a lot of them. For example, there was a very interesting lecture on healthy lifestyles in Grodno. There were meetings and discussions on inclusive education and ecological issues. It really helped us to work together on the Sustainable Development Goals in the next 15 years.
This is a vital element, that this partnership and trustworthy partnership is needed, and I guess we have strengthened that through this journey of 7 days. But not only this journey, but that preparatory process of months, lots of negotiations, discussions. So it's built a strong partnership.
It was very important that our participation in UN70 Express started at the planning phase. We were able to integrate aspects that were important to us and highlight inclusion. We were able to talk about the quality of inclusion and its practical aspects. We were very surprised by the content of the 7-day programme of the train in terms of people, atmosphere, meetings and discussions. For me, it was a remarkable event. I learned a lot. I think that business and senior management should focus more on people and remember that we are part of our country and the world at large.
Definitely, all 17 of these goals are motivating, and you know, I think each person, you know, should pick a goal and begin to work on it where they are. Our goal is social inclusion. So we've been traveling all over Belarus this week. We've done many shows at concert halls, and you know, really the biggest part of our crowd have been youth. We encourage teenagers, youth all around the world to be a part of this thing, man, because you know, this is your world and our world.
Всегда остается
There are always a number of people for whom gender issues are problematic. That is why our main goal was to dispel gender stereotypes. And that was what we did during our workshop on the train.
Well, we're going to continue to work on a number of things. Economic development is very important. There was a program on microfinance that, we were able to look at during the UN70 Express train ride. We had great audiences, really fantastic audience participation, and they kind of reflected the spirit of UN70 Express as well. They had some numbers, welcome to the world, find solutions, which is what the UN is all about, right? Find solutions to the problems we face in the world today.
The train helped Belarusians to feel that they can play an active role in the achievement of sustainable development goals, both at central and local levels. Every citizen of each oblast and each region of Belarus felt his or her involvement and responsibility for the achievement of these goals. Moreover, I think that UN70 Express helped Belarusians to understand that all goals are universal and it is possible to achieve them.
Well, it's a wonderful way to kick off the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, the new development agenda for the next 15 years. It's also very symbolic that this is here in Belarus on the 70th anniversary of the United Nations, Belarus being a founding member. So it's a very good way, again, for people to understand what it means, Sustainable Development Goals, and how we can, collectively working together, have a better future for the people and the planet.
So it was a great pleasure to take part in the UN train because it really showed our very lively, vivid and excellent cooperation between the EU and UN here in Belarus. The Sustainable Development Goals are for us as European Union very important, and we were one of the really close partners who supported the development of the Sustainable Development Goals, and so we are proud really to cooperate in this direction.
I think the UN70 train was a great initiative. It marked the 7 years presence of the UN in Belarus. It also marked the adoption of the Sustainable Development Agenda up to 2030 and also the start of the implementation of the SDGs in Belarus. The SDGs are extremely important. They will shape our health agenda during the next 15 years, and health and well-being are central in the SDG agenda.
I think it's a brilliant initiative to have a train touring the country and explaining to them, to people of Belarus, the work of the United Nations, and to engage with young people and everyone in celebrating the 70th anniversary of the United Nations. We are very proud of the connections and strong collaboration between the United Nations and the government and the people of Belarus.
We talked about many things, we listened to many voices. It's really important, I think, if you're going to take these Sustainable Development Goals seriously and save our planet, it's really going to be important that we work together. And I think what we discovered over the last 8 days is when we work together, we can move mountains, we can save planets.